Just a real nice volatile market. That's what you want as a day trader. This is the German DAX. We've been short this morning on the color method. Early doors here this morning. We've just short in this market in our live trading room. Why? Because it turned from green to red. Okay, we've got red all the way down. It's been a slow bleed this morning. No dip buyers stepping in. We've not seen one green since this original sell signal this morning. Storyteller is well underway and a bit extended, bit oversold here. We may start to see some green, but the tracks have been red. Short sides have been the winners today. It's been really nice. Look, we might start to see we're starting to see a bit of a green kicking in now. So anyone that's short in our live trading room will start to close out their short trade. This is a 500-point trade here, guys. And even if you got 200 points, the middle of the move, you've done very well. But as soon as it turns back to green, we'll get out. If it stays red, we'll just stay short the market. So what we've seen, I said to the guys this morning, this feels like a real slow bleed. It's not a collapse. It's not a flash crash yet. Okay, what we're seeing is it's slow. Look how slow it is. But anyone that's long the market are really in pain because there is no relief rally going on here. So if you went long anywhere around here, then we're getting no bounce. We're getting no bounce. So the pain, it's a slow bleed that's going on here, and I think it's going to continue. If we look at the weekly time frame, we've mentioned this for quite a while now. If you look at the weekly, the storyteller indicator, its angle, bearish divergence is a great strategy when there's an angle on it that's as steep as that. Okay, when you get the steepness where price makes a high, storyteller makes a lower high, we've got all these yellow lines kicking in, and I've just drawn this manually here. That's a steep line, okay, steep bearish line. Now we're starting to get weekly red pro trade system. You can see here there's projected targets automated for you. The daily time frame's well underway. My price target on the daily is 25,588. All right, that would be 3-to-1 risk reward ratio on this red sell signal. Okay, so we got the red sell signal on Monday after the gap down Sunday night. And now we're progressing into that area again. We might start to get quicker. The price might start to speed up. And at the moment, it's just, as I said, a slow bleed to the downside, which is horrible. I mean, I've been in a trade before where, I've been long the market, and the market just keeps going down in the early days, and you just think you're praying to the trading gods that it's going to bounce at some point. It just keeps on bleeding, keeps on dropping slowly, okay, and you don't get that bounce. It's not a nice place to be. So what we're seeing here is that slow bleed. We're seeing that just slow, grindy sort of price action to the downside. I think the price will start to increase. The speed of the movement will start to increase. And it's going to be, for traders, it's a fantastic place to be if you're short the market on the pro trading system. I sent out a video at the weekend. I said this is a rare opportunity for anyone, and that was before we got the move down in the NASDAQ. Now, I want to talk about the VIX here as well, the volatility indicator. Okay, as it goes up, okay, volatility is increasing. It's not starting; it's increasing. Now, the VIX, okay, tends to stay, it gets to a low and it starts to push higher. What people don't understand about the VIX, who do not understand our trade volatility, is that we want to be looking to short the markets when it's down at the lows here. So when price on the VIX gets down into the buy zone, okay, into these areas here, it starts to push up, and that is when volatility increases, the stock markets go down. Now what we don't want to be doing is when the VIX is starting to spike a little bit here, if we spike higher on the VIX and get up into these areas up into here, okay, the last thing we want to be doing is we don't want to be going short the stock market up here, because when it explodes higher, it drops after that. It will have, look, just like it did here, okay, it went higher into this circle, and then it just dropped, a volatility squeeze, okay? It came back down. Now what that means then is then you could look for some buy signals on the stock market. But you can always tell somebody who's never really traded before and doesn't really understand the VIX and the volatility. You know, they think about, as the VIX goes higher and explodes up into these zones up here, they think that volatility is increasing. It's getting to the end. The volatility is going to decrease very soon because it has to revert back. The VIX only goes so far until it reverts back. So anytime in the future we get down into these low levels down here, in this area here on the VIX, get ready to short the stock market. When we get up into these high levels up here, get ready to go long the stock market, all right? Don't do it the other way round. When the VIX is down at its lows, volatility is increasing. And that's what we're talking about every single week in the stock markets. That's why on our Scan Club every Monday night, we're looking for these type of things to get ready before everybody else is actually coming to the party on these trades. So with the stock market, I'm looking for more downside because sentiment says everyone is long. And what happens, exactly what happened with gold and silver, guys, price walks up the stairs and jumps out the window. And that big collapse in silver and gold was painful for a lot of long bull traders. And I feel like this is happening. This is the FTSE 100. You see how orderly price goes up, nice and steady, not much volatility. The VIX would be coming down to its lows, okay, as price is increasing. No volatility. You buy on green, sell on red. Buy on green, what we got here today. Look how wide the candlestick is here compared to all the others, okay? Fear is a bigger emotion than greed, okay? Fear is at some point possibly going to step in here, and people that are long the markets are struggling to get, well, not struggling to get out of their long side trades, but you know, if you bought the market around here, this is the FTSE. If you were at the highs here a bit late, you had that lovely profit, and now you're breaking even on the trade, and it could start to go down here. Now, there's another thing I want to talk about. For years, we've been trained to buy the dip. For years, every time it's sold off, it's a buying opportunity. And we've been trained mentally to actually do that. And at some point throughout this period, it may not do that. We may just get a bigger collapse, you know, in the FTSE. Let's have a little look at the weekly. It could be dropping. We could be down to these areas down here, guys, okay? And that's a big give back of profit. And, you know, if we start buying here, if we feel like we're going to buy here the dip and it carries on going down, then that means people will then get out of their longs and start to cover and get out and hit the sell button, which will fuel it even more. Okay, so just think about where we are now. We've been trained to buy the dips. Every time it came down, we got to buy. It came down, we got to buy. The stock market always goes up, but it's timing the up move, which I feel as anyone that's, you know, you're probably a retail trader that's got a few grand in an account, and you're trying to make some really nice profit, and you know you're not a big fund with millions in the account which could absorb the drop, you know, so you want the timing to be spot on to get into the trades. And this is where we need this red to flush out, and then we get some greens wherever we get the green, and the timing is the crucial part. Okay, so good luck with your trading, guys. Be safe. Think about the dip buy-in as an option at some point, but I don't think yet, because I think the speed has to kick in for this downside first to flush all the balls out, and then the pieces get picked up down below. And anyway, we're going to use our color method and our system here to pick out the next buy signal. I don't think it's yet. I think we need to flush. I think we need to go fast down, and then there'll be opportunities, and it'll be with the green pro trading system and color method. All right, come and join me. I've been doing this since 2004, guys. Over 20 years I've been trading markets. I've seen crashes, I've seen COVID, I've seen subprime, I've seen London bombings, trade price action. You know, come and join us, guys, and we'll pick off these bottoms if there is a bottom anytime soon. All right, speak to you soon. Take care.